Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Wi-Fi battle. Today we have week 3 of the NGDL3 versus MrChabry. He is a fellow YouTuber, so I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the video description so you guys can check him out afterwards. And looking at his team, there was one thing that did kind of surprise me knowing his full draft lineup, and that is he opted not to bring his Togekiss. So other than that, nothing I really didn't expect here. And going into this game, we are both actually 0-2, so we're both kind of hurting for a win right now. So it should definitely be another good one, and we're going to get into it. So looking at his team, I really wasn't sure exactly what he was going to want to lead with, but I know that my Hitmonlee does great work against pretty much his whole team, so I am going to go ahead and lead with that, as he actually ends up leading with the Incineroar, and he does get the Intimidate to lower my attack, which does suck. But turn 1, he is actually going to go straight for a switch, doesn't want to take a fighting attack from me, even at -1, so he is going to come in with the USUM, predicting that, as I actually go for the knockoff, predicting the switch. It only takes him down by about a quarter, but I do get rid of the leftovers, which is nice. So this turn I am going to go for the switch. There's nothing else I can really do to this thing, so I'm going to come in with my Raikou, and my pressure is going to come into play, as he is just going to go for a light screen here, revealing that he is a dual screen set that is going to increase his special defense for his whole team for a few turns. So then he is going to go for a switch here directly into his Scrafty, and he is going to get the Intimidate to lower my attack. He was probably predicting the Ghost move, which I do go for the Shadow Ball, hoping he would stay in there, so not going to do much of anything there. I actually got a crit even, so not much damage at all. And I am Choice Specs actually locked into Shadow Ball, so I do have to switch out here. I am going to come in with my Seismitoad, as he does go for a Drain Punch, which is going to take me down by about a third, and that is going to heal him all the way back up to full, which does suck for me. Then I am going to regain some health with the leftovers. So this turn I do outspeed him. Actually, I'm going to go for a Drain Punch of my own, which is going to take him down by about a third, which was not bad, and give me some health back, as well as he goes for a knockoff in return, which is going to knock me below half and get rid of my leftovers, which does suck. So this turn he is going to go for a switch out into his Cofagrigus, probably predicting another Drain Punch, but I do anticipate a switch here and go for a Toxic, and I am going to land that to badly poison the Cofagrigus, which is, of course, good for me. So he is going to take some damage from the poison then, and that is going to be it for the light screen. So this turn I am going to go for the switch. There's not much else I can do to this thing with the Seismitoad, so I am just going to come right back in with the Raikou, and my pressure is going to come into play, as he does go for a Shadow Ball here, and that is going to take me down by about a quarter, which was not too bad, and then he is going to regain some health with the leftovers and take more damage from the poison. So here he is going to go for the switch, again probably predicting the Ghost move. He is going to come back in with Incineroar and get the Intimidate to lower my attack, but I decided to go for the Volt Switch instead this turn, thinking he would probably make that same play again. So that does take him down by about a third, and I do of course get the mandatory switch back into my Hitmonlee. So he is going to go for another switch here, doesn't want to risk taking a fighting attack again, so he is going to come back in with USUM, as I am just going to go for the Stone Edge here to play it safe. That does knock him to about half health, which was not bad, but I know I'm not going to have enough to take him out with one more attack, so I am going to switch out here into my Aggron, as he does go for the Stealth Rock just to get the entry hazard set up on me. So this turn I am going to go straight for the Mega Evolution, of course, into Mega Aggron. And he is actually going to outspeed me here, so he's just going to go for a U-turn, which does barely anything, of course, but he is going to get the mandatory switch, and off of that, he is going to come in with the Scrafty once again, and he is going to get the Intimidate to lower my attack, as I am just going to decide to go for the Stealth Rock to get the entry hazard set up on him as well. So this turn I am going to go for a switch. I don't want to take a fighting attack from this thing, so I'm going to switch in with my Seismitoad basically as fodder. I'm going to take some damage from the rocks as he does go for a Drain Punch, which is unfortunately going to be enough to finish me off and put him back up to almost full health. So that is going to be it for the Seismitoad. That does drop me down to 5 Pokemon. So then I am going to come in with Alakazam, and I am going to outspeed him here, and I actually am carrying the Dazzling Gleam just for the Scrafty, so I am able to catch him off guard with that and one-shot kill the Scrafty, dropping him down to 5 Pokemon, which worked out great for me. So then he is going to come in with the Manectric and take some damage from the rocks. And I am going to go for the switch here. I do want to keep my Alakazam healthy, so I'm going to come in with my Goodra and take some damage from the rocks as he does go for the Mega Evolution into Mega Manectric. And he is going to get the Intimidate to lower my attack. And he is just going to go for a Volt Switch here, which is not going to do much of anything at all to me. I am max special defense with an Assault Vest. So, of course, he is going to get the mandatory switch, and off of that, he is going to come in with Uxie once again and take some damage from the rocks. So this turn, he's actually going to double switch me. I'm not exactly sure what he was predicting, but in any event, he is going to come in with Incineroar and take some damage from the rocks and get the Intimidate to lower my attack once more. Not really going to matter, though, since I am a special attacker, and I am just going to fire off a Draco Meteor here, and that is actually going to be enough to take out the Incineroar, dropping him down to 4 Pokemon, which was great. It is going to harshly lower my special attack, but more than worth it there. So then he is going to come back in with Manectric and take more damage from the rocks, and once again get the Intimidate to lower my attack. So I am going to go for the switch here with my special attack harshly lowered. I don't have much of a choice, so I am going to come in with my Raikou and take some damage from the rocks, and of course have my pressure come back into play, as he is actually just going to go for a Thunderbolt here, and that is going to knock me down to about 1/3 of my health. So this turn he is going to outspeed me, unfortunately, and go for a Flamethrower, and unfortunately I actually do survive that in the red with 6 HP, which does let me fire off a Thunderbolt, which knocks him down to about 1/4 health, which was nice. But then this turn, he can just outspeed me, go for one more Thunderbolt to finish off my Raikou and drop me down to 4 Pokemon as well. So then I am going to come back in with Hitmonlee and take some damage from the rocks. And he is going to go for the switch here. Probably predicting the priority move. He is going to come in with Uxie, most likely as fodder. He is going to take more damage from the rocks, as I do go for the Fake Out to trigger my normal gem, which is also going to trigger my Unburden to double my speed. So this turn I am going to go for a knockoff, which is going to be enough to finish off the Uxie and drop him down to 3 Pokemon. So then he is going to come back in with Cofagrigus and take more damage from the rocks. So I am definitely going to outspeed this thing. I am going to go for the knockoff, which is going to take him all the way into the red, but he does survive, and that is actually going to trip his Mummy ability, which is actually going to replace my Unburden with the Mummy, which does suck because now I do lose my speed boost there. He is actually going to go for the Pain Split here, which is going to put him back up to about 1/3 health and knock me down to about 2/3. So I'm going to go for another knockoff this turn, hoping to take him out. Unfortunately, he just barely survives that with like 1 HP in the red, which does let him fire off a Shadow Ball, knocking me down to 15 HP in the red. I survive as well, and he is actually going to go down to the poison this turn, which was nice. That is going to drop him down to 2 Pokemon. So then he is going to come back in with Manectric, and he does survive the Stealth Rock damage on the switch-in, knocking him into the red. Does get the Intimidate to lower my attack, and now that my Unburden is gone, he is going to outspeed me once again, go for the Thunderbolt, and that is going to finish off my Hitmonlee, dropping me down to 3 Pokemon. So then I am going to come back in with Goodra and take more damage from the rocks. And he is definitely going to outspeed me here. He is just going to go for a Thunderbolt, which is not going to do much damage, but he actually gets the paralysis, which really sucks for me, and I actually do get fully paralyzed this turn, which was extremely unfortunate, so nothing I can do there. So that is going to let him go for another Thunderbolt this turn to chip me down below half, but fortunately I am going to be able to fire off a Flamethrower in return, which is going to finish off the Manectric, dropping him down to just one Pokemon. So he is going to come in with Kartana then and take some damage from the rocks. And he is definitely going to outspeed me here. He is going to go for the Sacred Sword. I'm guessing he has choice items of some sort, so that was the best move he had to lock himself into. That is going to finish off my Goodra, unfortunately dropping me to 2 Pokemon and activating his Beast Boost to give him an attack increase, but that is okay. I am just going to come back in with my Aggron, which should be fit to handle this thing. He does go for the Sacred Sword, but even at +1, I do survive that with about half my health. Aggron is a beast, and I am just going to go for a Fire Punch in return, which is going to be enough to one-shot kill the Kartana, and that is game. So I won that one 2-0 against MrChabry, but that was a really good game. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.